I'm awake. Why is it dark? Oh, hey. You're awake. Great. Hey, calm down. You're fine. I take that as you don't know where you are. Probably don't remember how you got here. You're okay. Alright, I won't touch you. You're fine. You're fine. Just relax, alright? God. Oh, that's better. Hey, I'm sure you don't remember who Ashes is right now, but if you see them later, maybe don't tell them I fell asleep while I was supposed to be keeping watch over you. Well, I mean, nothing happened. You're fine ish. Anyway, I'm Rusty. Your hand is broken. Right. Ashes did mention that. So, I'm assuming you have questions. Right. Okay. Well, like I said, I'm Rusty. I'm Ash's older brother. They were the ones who saved you and brought you here and took care of 90% of your wounds while you were asleep. Yes. Yeah. Please stop looking at me like you're gonna pull out a gun and shoot me. It's a little unnerving. I You're safe here. Trust me. I know that seems like a big ask considering you're in my home, well, makeshift home, and don't know how you got here. Right, I will explain. If it gets that terrifying look out of your eyes, I will tell you whatever you want to know. Right, so obviously you know the department. Yeah, good. That part of your memory's still intact at least, so it's probably just short-term memory that's gone to crap. Yeah, right. So the DFI, Department of Fae Investigation, blah blah blah, organization set up to inspect us and do tests on us against our will, and made up a whole bullshit story about some new virus going around that was going to infect both Fae and humans. And they offered us a secure place to go get tested for it, and tricked us into thinking we actually had the virus and made us come back for later testing, and then told our families that we were sick and locked us up in the basement. And we've been stuck there ever since, and no one came to look for us because the humans don't care about the Fae, and the Fae all thought that we were sick, so they didn't want to come near us and get contaminated. Anyway, you know all this. How we escaped is a hell of a story. So, I was sedated. At first, anyway. I was totally out. And then I guess there was an explosion or something. I was kind of half in and half out of it. More asleep than not. But then there was just this loud burst and like a rumbling sound. And I guess it knocked my IV out or something. And I kind of came to, and there was a fire, which is kind of my shtick. Being a fire pixie and all, felt like someone was coming for my brand. Not that there aren't other fire-related creatures here, but like if someone's gonna set things on fire, it's gonna be me. Anyway, I just saw a ball of fire, and my first thought was maybe it's Ashes, and then I remember that Ashes was in the testing chamber to my left, and the explosion was to my right, so that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, if they were gonna blow something up, it would be the room that they were in. Anyway, I just kept watching because it was all I could do. My body wasn't really functional, and my powers were kind of, oops, didn't mean to do that, sorry. Anyway, I kept watching and kept waiting, and the doctors were running by, and no one was coming to get me, which I shouldn't have been surprised by that, because the humans are the assholes. And I see this blue-haired dude. I mean, that's bold of me to assume. I shouldn't be assuming genders, but now I know him. It was Keenan, and yeah, him. He just burst out of his containment testing chamber thing where they were poking and prodding at him, and it was kind of amazing. I mean, it's weird because now that I know him, he's not a fire type creature at all. Yeah, exactly. So that's what they were doing to him. Yeah, I mean, we all got beat up pretty bad in there, but Keenan was one of the ones who got kind of the worst of it. He's supposed to be a nature plant oriented being, more a nature elf, and they did so many tests on him and messed with his core, where we keep our powers, obviously. Duh, of course you know this, why am I over explaining to you? And tampered with him and replaced one of his eyes and forced these fire powers into him that he wasn't supposed to have, or at least not supposed to gain all at once. I mean, we can learn, at least partially learn, other powers than our own, like a human learns different hobbies or different tasks or whatever gradually over time. Maybe they don't do them all super well, but they can at least try them. It's kind of the same thing with us and our powers, and if he were to learn how to control fire like me or Ash's over time, maybe it would have been okay, but it just ruined him. I mean, he's here and he's okay for the most part now, but I can't imagine what that would feel like, to suddenly have this new flood of powers in you. And with, there's that whole, I hate to conform to stereotypes, but it's kind of true for us. Fire types are more easily angered / pissed off, annoyed, more reckless, lose control a bit more. Well, lose control depends on, your age and how much you've learned and blah blah blah. Anyway, why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep over explaining? I'm trying to give you as much information as possible, and I just need to shut up. Anyway, so big boom, I wake up, IV falls out, blue-haired dude is going nuts. I haven't seen Ash's yet, and there's security and there's doctors running everywhere, and this dude just comes charging by my room, just smashing things left and right, and they're shooting him with sedatives. But get this, they're not doing anything. At least not the first 3 rounds or so. It took about 4 or 5 till I could see them starting to take effect, but he was doing so much damage on his way, and he managed to shatter the glass to my testing chamber, just running down, setting off fireballs everywhere, and just, like I said, it was nuts, and I can't really tell you exactly what happened. All I know is he came charging down the hall past me, the glass in my room shattered. Got a few nice cuts from that. I've got them healed up already, though, so. And runs past Ash's room, and I guess they must not have sedated Ashes enough because they got right up on their feet and I could hear them kicking ass from their room. I was very impressed with my little sib. Ashes got up, grabbed Keenan, took back off down the hallway, past me, and took a look and saw me still strapped to the table, and I'm just like, hey fam, you wanna like maybe untie your bro from this horrifying death trap of a table? Yeah, Ashes ran back, helped Valerie kick some ass, took Valerie over to Keenan, told Valerie to get Keenan the hell out of there, and then came back for me. Busted down my door, got me unhooked from the table, and we took off. Yeah. And we couldn't exactly go home because the department, had issued that statement that everyone, the Fae that were still in the facility were the ones that were infected. Spoiler alert, there's no disease. They made that shit up. If you couldn't figure that out by now. Yeah, there's no disease. So, they had the world convinced that we were sick. We couldn't go home because either we wouldn't be let back in and they would return us to the department because they were all afraid of getting sick, or the department would go straight to our homes and interrogate our families and they'd find us there anyway, so we couldn't go home. So we came here. This cave is a childhood hangout. Yeah. Me and Ashes used to come here all the time. Ashes and I. You're really gonna give me grammar lessons right now. And Valerie would join us there too. So, yeah. That was our hangout as a kid. Before our dad died. Yeah. Yeah, our dad helped us kind of construct it. We found just like this big cave opening while we were out exploring with Dad when we were kids, and it wasn't that far from home. I mean, it's a good enough distance that they won't think to look there. The department won't, but it's pretty well hidden, I would say. But we slowly, over time, turned it into, I don't know, the cave equivalent of a treehouse. We have our own little rooms in there and everything, and I mean, we even gave Valerie a room because she was over so often. So yeah, the only people that know that this place exists is me, Ashes, now you, Valerie, Keenan, and our mom. Who we can't go see. So yeah. Anyway, you're safe here. They're not gonna think to check here. Well, at least not right now. There's some pretty extreme overgrowth happening from the outside. It looks completely inhabited and dark, so yeah, we're fine in here. Anyway, happier notes. Do you recognize any of us? I don't know, maybe have seen us around? I mean, I'm sure you know who Valerie is. Yeah. Princess Valerie. She hates that I call her that, but she is. She's essentially, yeah, well, not essentially, she just is royalty, but she hates it. Yeah, all of her siblings, and they're all, well, most of them anyway, are all for the whole lavish lifestyle thing. Valerie just wants to mess around in the woods and just have her own adventures and not, have to worry about ruling anybody. I mean, she's she's perfect like that. I mean, yeah, she's great, and like we've been friends for years, so you know, I know tons of stuff about her, like on a personal level. Yeah, we're really close like that. We're like best friends. I don't have a crush on her. No. What, a guy and a girl can't be friends? No, scratch that. Two people can't just be friends and be really close and sleep together multiple times. It hasn't happened in like the year or so. She found someone else to go hook up with. No, she's not a bad person. It was a friends with benefits thing. We both knew that. We both established that when we got into the relationship. I just, I don't know. I guess I didn't think about it enough because I didn't think she'd actually leave. It's fine. We're still really good friends, and we have established trust. And like I said, it was a mutual decision. It just, I miss her. You know, even though she's right downstairs, I still don't know why she gave it up, though. I mean, I know she didn't want to be tied down, like she felt like she was at home, like she had to do things or had to commit to something, and I told her that was fine. And so, you know, I'm keeping my word on that. If that's what she wants to do with her life, then that's entirely her choice. This mushy shit, it's not for me. We're really good friends. We really are. And she's a great person. And she deserves the world. Even though she doesn't seem to want it. Well, I guess you're kinda all caught up then. Did you sleep well at least? Well, that's good. I've been having a lot of nightmares. Yeah, about the department. About the shit they do in there. I don't know that I'm ever going to be able to live down hearing the screams of others from their cells and their testing chambers. Or the ones that misbehaved and they locked up in the basement. Yeah, I got tossed down there a few times. It's cold and it's dark and you feel so useless. Because they work so fast to learn our weaknesses, and those sedatives are so strong. And just... if I didn't hate them so much, I'd say they were almost impressive. We're coming up with a plan. We're gonna bust back in there. And if you have any ideas, feel free to let us know. We're gonna try to find a healer that doesn't watch the news and won't turn us in immediately, and we'll fix up what's left that's damaged to view. And well, Keenan's not in the best shape either, so... but yeah, we're gonna crush those fuckers, one way or the other. You can get some sleep. Or if you can't sleep, I'll send Ashes in here and they'll come talk to you. At least you don't look like you're gonna kill me anymore, so I'd say that's progress. Alright. You hungry? You thirsty? I can get you something. Alright. Cool. Back in a flash.